man, I just want to give Lincoln a shout out for stepping in there and playing with confidence in a tough spot. I thought you fought your ass off, man, and it's not easy, and you went in there and you did the best you could, man. So shout out to you, man.
See, that response is way better than what Ryan Day just said. All you had to do was say, hey, man, hey, man, my quarterback came in, he stepped in, he played well. You know what I'm saying? He played well for what we asked him to do. We as coaches should have prepared this team better. And I appreciate these young men for stepping into these roles. But to say I don't know, Ohio State's Cotton Bowl post-game press conference. Let's get it.
Okay, we are now joined by Coach Ryan Day, the head coach of the...
Hey, matter of fact, I'm about to start some stuff with this one. If Ohio State lost to Missouri, doesn't that mean that Michigan will
The Ohio State University. Coach will come to you first for an opening statement on tonight's game.
Yeah, we'll go right to questions. Thanks.
Okay. First question. Where's our microphone, people? Okay, Mike's coming. We're going to come to you right here as soon as we get the mic. And it's on its way.
Hey, boy, look. Ryan Day trying to figure out what is he look. He look like, man, what I'm about to say to these people. I've been a fraud all season. What am I about to say to these people? Ryan Day, bro, you look so pensive, man.
Okay, front row here on the right, Coach.
Hi, Ryan. I'm sure you came into this game looking for optimism and clarity, particularly at the quarterback position. Where do you go after this game? Obviously, Devin only played, not even the whole half.
Right.
But didn't look great. Obviously, Lincoln, first time out there, and I think international. Where do you kind of go at quarterback right now?
Well, I feel like Lincoln got put in a tough spot there, to say the least. And I thought he battled his tail off, but clearly, we didn't help him up front. Didn't run the ball well enough, and freshman quarterback out there, for the first time playing, and we're not running the ball well enough up front. So, it's hard to get much of an evaluation coming out of the game when you can't get any balance, and I felt like we could have helped them in certain areas. We didn't.
True or false? Kyle McCord has been carrying Ohio State this entire season. This whole time, we thought Kyle McCord was a nobody. And he was a somebody. He was the one person that mattered the most to this Ohio State Buckeyes team this past season.
Okay, our student athletes, let's introduce them, Lincoln Keenholz and Jack Sawyer. Other questions? I think we have one here on the front row.
Yeah, Ryan, straight to the point there about the offensive line play tonight. Just what's your take immediately? And number 2, Carson Hinsman didn't play center. Obviously, y'all made the switch. Matt Jones, Inagvi Mahi, right guard. But their speed rushers just kind of had a night tonight. What's your take on it?
Well, I felt more in the. Certainly there was some zero pressure that came, and they, they were aggressive on Link, but in the run game, I just felt like there were a couple of things that hit, but overall, when you have a young kid in there, you got to be able to run the football and take some pressure off, and we didn't do that well enough in order to win the game. The defense played plenty good enough. I thought they played their tails off and ran out of gas a little bit down the stretch, but to give up 14 points and 331 yards? Is that what it was? Yeah, they played great and good enough to win. The defense did. We just could have put it together on offense, and so that's the story of the game.
Hold on, so now I gotta go. I'm gonna have to deviate from this video a little bit and go check these Ohio State stats, because Ohio State ain't been known for running the ball all season. At least I don't follow Ohio State either, but they've been known for throwing their ball to Marvin Harrison Jr. So if you've been a passing offense all season for 13 weeks, you've been a passing offense. You can't just flip to a running offense on the bowl game. So now I gotta go pull up some stats. Now I gotta go look at the Ohio State team stats. Ohio State has averaged this whole season 138 yards on average. All right, 138 yards. For let me go back and look at the passing. For the passing game, I didn't really look at that like I should. They averaged 270 yards. All right, so let's keep those two numbers in mind while we look at this. So in the game versus Missouri, they rushed for, let's just say 100 yards. They are 30 some yards short of their season average, which is a drop in production. But in the passing game, they threw for a whopping 106 yards. So, if we had to point a finger at anything, and I really was just joking when I said Cal McCord was carrying the Ohio State Buckeyes this whole season, but when I look at the stats, I didn't know these stats before I made that comment. I was just playing around. But when you look at the stats, they threw for 170 yards less than they did for their season average, and they rushed for 30 yards less or 40 yards less for their rush average. So if we had to pick a unit that cost this team this game, we got to point a finger at anybody, it's going to be at you, Ryan Day, because you fumbled the bag with Kyle McCord. You let this man walk out the door. You don't have a secure quarterback coming into next season.
Finish point up, sending Lincoln in for his first real series on the 5-yard line in the bowl game. Just what's going through your mind there, and what were you just cautioning him about as he goes in there?
Well, I mean, when you're a freshman quarterback who comes in during the summer, you don't have the spring. You really don't have much of a preseason, and then you get thrown, into it with the scouts a little bit here and there. But when Kyle was in there and Devin was getting reps with the twos, Lincoln really didn't get many reps. So he did get some reps in bowl practice, but that's not like playing in a game. And I think his first few drives were inside the 10-yard line. That's a tough place to be. And what I didn't want to do was put him in a situation where he's going to turn the ball over and maybe see something that he's not used to seeing. And then all of a sudden now we're really battling uphill. What I felt like we could do there is get into halftime, get it settled, and then try to get the ball towards midfield, which we did. Defense got us at midfield. We stalled and then missed the field goal. I felt like that was our chance to maybe, jump on top a little bit. And then, just couldn't quite get it going. But I give Lincoln credit. I mean, he got put in a tough spot and he battled out there and did make some good throws. But that was a tough ask right there. And we need to help more.
Why do you need to help more? Ryan Day, it's still your fault, man. You knew the portal was here. You knew all season that you could lose players going into the bowl game, which is where a lot of coaches make their money, where they set their value for their program. Hey, man, we won the bowl game this year. Fight on, whatever. You knew that. You knew that Kyle McCord probably was shaky all season. Hey, man, if I'm not confident in Kyle McCord, I may need to get my younger guys some reps. So just in case, they can come in and fill in for the spot. So if he's not ready on bowl game for the bowl game, that's your fault. That's all your fault, bro. Like, there's nobody you can put that on but you. You made that decision. You gave Kyle McCord all the reps. You didn't prepare your next quarterback. You always got to prepare your two. You always got to have your 2 second, third quarterback ready to go. Because you never know what can happen all season. So, like I say, man, it sounds like Kyle McCord been carrying the Ohio State Buckeyes all season. Obviously, Marvin Harrison Jr. wasn't there either, but you need a signal caller. For everybody else telling me that Ohio State has a lot of receivers there. Even once Marvin Harrison leave without Jeremiah Smith coming in, they have a good group of guys there. So that they still should have had some offensive production.
I mean, obviously, you didn't want this kind of finish to a season and stuff. 2 straight losses, but 14-3 in a bowl game. That's what your message.
I just told them that I thought a lot of guys played really hard in this game, and nobody wanted to lose this game. I mean, you saw guys fighting here and there. We got put in a tough spot, and we didn't respond well enough, and we didn't help the young kid at all, and that's why we lost the game. So it hurts to finish the season like this, with 2 losses, and that's not good enough at Ohio State, and we all know that.
Nobody wanted to lose the game. What kind of line is, dude? Nobody wants to lose a game. It's not even worth mentioning. You don't play the game, you're trying to lose. That's a stupid comment. Like Ryan Day. Hey, look, I'm gonna be honest with y'all. I've been on Ryan Day head. Ever since he lost to a backup head coach at Michigan State. When he lost that game, and you know what? And the NCAA punished Ohio State severely for losing that game by dropping them so far in the rankings. Why? Because you were supposed to punish Michigan for all these scandals and all this stuff going on, and you blew it. So now we're here today, and then you lose versus Missouri, and I like Missouri. But Ohio State, Missouri has never been in the national championship talk all season. Ohio State, y'all have been in the national championship talk all season, up until like the last 2 weeks of the season. So this is terrible. That's awful.
Okay, let's go to the extreme left on coaches left by the curtain.
Yep. Ryan, you talked about wanting to finish on the high note in the springboard for next year, but now that's obviously not the situation. When you look at what happened tonight and what happened at the end of November, where does this need to go? What are you already thinking about to get into 2024 and turn it back around?
Well, I mean, now it's, this game was very different than the last game. It was a different situation altogether. And yeah, I mean, we wanted to finish this game and build some momentum in the next year. It didn't happen. But yeah, the first thing I mentioned in the room was, the guys who are deciding whether they come back or not. Now they got to rally together, and we got to put this team together moving forward. Of guys who are coming back and get finished some unfinished business that's happened here. And I know there's some guys who feel that way.
Terrible response. That was a terrible response. What are you going to do going into 2024? You didn't answer the question, man. You didn't answer the question. You, as the head coach, play a very pivotal role in players returning. Especially if you have players that you want to return, you may want to get on the phone with these boys and say, hey, man, I need you. Don't hop in that portal. Whatever you got to do, bro. These things are all about relationships, man. If those players feel like you're the guy for them that's going to help them get to that next level, whether the league, whether the graduation, whether to a bowl game, whether to the college football playoffs, then you need to get on the phone. Don't just wait by the wayside for them to decide, hey, man, if you have identified players that you want to retain, hey, man, break out that NIL money. Hey, man, I want you. This is what I got for you. Stay with me. I got you. Don't rock with me. Ride with me till the wheels fall off. We ain't done yet. We ain't done. But you just gonna wait for him to make a decision. That's on you, bro. That's on you. And hey, man, and I'm mad Jeremiah Smith signed it, y'all, bro. I really he should not went to Ohio State, man. He should have, all these schools, he went to Ohio State and Ryan Day. That's awful.
A reminder, let's have some questions at some point for either Lincoln and Jack. Next question here on the front row on the coach's right.
Yeah, Ryan, what is the status of Devin?
Hey, man said, hey, man, make sure we ask Jack Sawyer, did I say it? Jack Sawyer and Lincoln some questions. He said, yeah, Ryan Day. God damn, bro. That's funny.
I mean, he left. Can you give us just a general idea?
Yeah, he had a high ankle sprain and wasn't able to return.
I missed that.
Next question here on the front row on the coach's right.
Yeah, Ryan, what is the status of Devin? I mean, he left. Can you give us just a general idea?
Yeah, he had a high ankle sprain and wasn't able to return.
Like you said, it's circumstantial here with the circumstances with the quarterback. Does this change anything looking at transfer portal, or does it just sort of you've got to now reassess a little bit?
Yeah, I'm just fresh off the game, so it's hard for me to process all of it right now. But we got to figure out what's the best for the team moving forward, and that's in a lot of areas. So we've got to take a hard look at that and get that figured out. But everything will be looked at.
Hey, man, y'all need to fire this dude. Y'all need to fire Ryan Day today. Fire Ryan Day today. That may be a title of the video. But he need to be fired. Now, you telling me Kyle McCord has been in the portal for a month? Like 2 weeks, a month, whatever. He been in the portal for a long time. So you haven't made any determination about where you're going to go next at quarterback. You haven't done that yet as the head football coach of a Power 5 blue chip program of Ohio State. You let your starting quarterback of a 12-1 team leave, and you ain't thought about another person yet. Like I say, Aaron Nolan is going to be a really good quarterback for y'all. But the fact that you could have mentioned, I got some freshmen coming in. I got, I'm looking in the portal for here. You got to say something, bro. You can't just say we got to reassess what's going on now. Now that we lost this game, so, bro, you should have been doing that. Like, what are y'all doing, man? What are you doing? They need to fire this dude. Y'all need to fire Ryan Day. I said it. And I know some people in my comments ain't going to like it, but I don't care. You can fire them too. Fire them too. But nah, bro, you telling me you haven't even looked at the quarterback situation since Cal McCourt entered his name into the transfer portal? After a 12-1 quarterback that threw for nearly 4,000 yards? Come on, bro. That's terrible. What are you doing? What you doing? And I'm mad Jeremiah Smith signed to y'all, man. He should have never signed to Ohio State. Cause I knew Ryan Day was like, bro, Ryan Day is not it. And Jeremiah Smith could be a very talented kid in the right system. I don't know if that's Ohio State with Ryan Day at the helm.
Okay, extreme left now on the second row.
Coach, I wanted to just ask about some of the miscues on special teams, some of the maybe self-inflicted wounds. Are there common threads that you see with some of the mistakes, perhaps with fair catches inside the 10-yard line, false starts on punts, things to that nature?
Well, I thought overall early on the whole punting operation, other than the delay game, but there was a funky look there, and we always tell them, hey, if you're not sure, don't snap the ball, and we ended up getting that one off. So, that one there, was okay, but I felt like we were punting with good hang time, and we were covering, and we were flipping the field at times pretty well. So I thought that was well done. But you're right. I mean, we shouldn't catch the ball on the 4-yard line. Our heels should be in the 8. I think he felt like in that moment they were kind of right behind him, and they were gonna pin it inside the 4. But still, you have to stick to your rules in that situation. And then we missed the field goal, and that one was big at the time. It was a little momentum swing, and they get the ball back on the 30-yard line. So there was some good things there, but not good enough.
Hey, man, it's a rule in sports. Either you coaching it or you allowing it. So if your rule is heels on the 8, heels on the 10, if it go past you, let it go, then that need to be the freaking rule. That's a coaching error. You don't get to pick. You don't get to decide. You don't get to choose. Why? Because my head, Ryan Day's head, is on the line. Whoever the special teams coordinator is. And if he the special teams coordinator too, then he need to fire himself 2 times. But no, man. You either coaching it or you allowing it. And clearly Ryan Day is allowing a lot of things to go on because they was winning. But when you lose, things get magnified. Let's go.
Okay, on the right outer aisle.
Ryan, when Devin was playing in that first quarter, there's still struggles. Is that a matter of new quarterback, new center, new right guard, no Marv, or is there more to it?
I felt like he was going to have nerves early on. I thought we were going to be able to play through it and figure out what that looked like going into the second half. He had a little bit of nerves, but you could see him. You see the athleticism. You see him break the pocket almost. Just missed the throw down the sideline. He missed the screen early on, but I felt like he was going to kind of have to play through that a little bit. And this is his first start. So, and then we lose him, and we had a lot of things in the game plan designed for his style of play, and we lost him. That was it was a little bit of a scramble, and we came up short.
Did the game get a chance to slow down for you throughout, or was there too much pressure at that time?
It wasn't really that fast, honestly, because I go against the best defense every day in practice. So, it was pretty good. I think the Mizzou coaches were trying to speed me up, give me some 0 looks. But, just other than that, I'm pretty sure, it was just like another game. And, I think, the big thing for me was that, I just got to just slow down and just focus on my mechanics and everything, and just trust my eyes.
another bad decision Ryan Day made. I would not have brought my freshman quarterback that just got into his first game and lost and, probably didn't play too well. I wouldn't have had him on this panel. I would have protected my quarterback. Like I said, he a young dude. He's going to be fine. Like I said, I got to go actually back and watch the full game. I started watching it. It was boring. But I would not have brought this young man to this panel if Ryan Day had to say so. I would not have brought him to this panel. I wouldn't have did it.
Reminder, no video, no streaming, okay, here in the interview room. Here in the middle on the right.
Ryan, obviously this was a different type of year at quarterback. You have Kyle the whole year. He transfers. You kind of get thrown in. You're playing Devin, and then Lincoln comes in. How would you assess the quarterback room or the quarterback play this year? I know it's fresh off the game, but just how would you assess how that went and how it impacted the season?
I think it's hard to say because, we're talking about, a year's worth of play of Kyle. He's not here. I don't think it's fair to me to go back and go through all of that right now. And then this game was very unique. So, bottom line is, we didn't reach our goals this year, and that's everybody. And so, the quarterback room is one of them. And so that's the bottom line. We look at a whole. We didn't get our job done. So if that's what you're looking for an answer, that's kind of what it is. But it just, I'm not going to go through and kind of evaluate Kyle at this point. I don't think that's fair. And then, you saw what happened in this game. And again, we got to be able to help him out more. Some of those zero looks that Lincoln's talking about, we can do a better job with as coaches.
That was a terrible answer, man. You can make an assessment. You could. Kyle know he played however he played. You can make an assessment on, how, not having Kyle, McCord in the folds did hurt you. You can be honest, man. Be like, you ain't got to throw Lincoln under the bus and Devin under the bus. Just say, hey, bro. Yeah, man. We lost. We didn't have our return, our starter for the whole season here. My freshman stood in and did the best job he could. We want to get him sped up and ready for next year. And yeah, but you could do a lot of different. You could have went a lot of different ways in saying, I don't know. You said I don't know. I don't know, bro. What you mean you don't know, man? You about to see you spend more time with these dudes than anybody else. I don't know. Does Ryan Day know football? Like he's ducking and dodging a lot of the football questions. As I'm looking at, he's ducking and dodging a lot of the football questions. Like when you got to put on your analyst hat, he dodging those questions. Like he dodged them like freaking CJ2K in the 2000, well, not 2000, 2010, whatever.
Left side now.
For Jack, obviously you tie Ohio State's sack record in a bowl game. How much more difficult now does it make it to potentially, put your name in the top in the draft or come back?
Honestly, I'm not even really thinking about that right now. I'm just upset about the game. I wanted to send the seniors out the right way, and when you put so much work into it, it's tough when, you don't get the outcome you want. And I just want to give Lincoln a shout out for stepping in there and playing with confidence in a tough spot. I thought you fought your ass off, man, and it's not easy, and you went in there and you did the best you could, man. So shout out to you, man.
See, that response is way better than what Ryan Day just said. All you had to do was say, hey, man, hey, man, my quarterback came in, he stepped in, he played well. You know what I'm saying? He played well for what we asked him to do. We as coaches should have prepared this team better. And I appreciate these young men for stepping into these roles. But to say I don't know, Ryan Day, ready to get, bruh, this is not the type of leader I want on my team. Not the type of leader I want, bro. Unacceptable. He need to make Jack Sawyer the dang head coach. In
the middle here on the aisle.
Hey, Ryan, I know that you guys said that, when all the dust settles from the game, you'll go make all the evaluations and stuff.
Yeah.
But we thought coming into this, and I think maybe you did too, that tonight was going to be a big piece of that evaluation pot. How do you move forward without that evaluation? Because as you said, it's been an odd game, and you obviously didn't have Devin. And second part to that question too is I watched Devin after the injury and the way that he held or carried himself and on the sideline cheering. Can you just speak to the way that he handled himself after his second injury in a crucial moment during a battle.
Yeah.
He better not say another I don't know type situation. You better give me some.
I mean, for Devin, I know he wanted to play in this game worse than anybody, and even after he hurt himself, he wanted to get back in there and actually did it for a series, but it wasn't fair to him. He couldn't move, and he wasn't supposed to be in the game at that point, but he was fighting to get back in there, and he kept a great attitude the whole time. He's a great young man with a great attitude. He's a great teammate. Yeah, I don't have a great answer for that right now because this is not what we were expecting coming out of the game. We didn't have a game to look at and go through and evaluate. We know what we see in practice, but it's certainly different when you play in a game. So disappointed we don't have that. So we'll get back to work and figure that part of it out. But again, I don't have a great answer on that right now because we didn't have a game from Devin.
You had a great answer for nothing today. Like absolutely nothing. Absolutely nothing. Like you had answer for nothing. Like, bro, your whole game plan was to deny. You can't give us an assessment on anything. You can't just say this was a unique game. We're just gonna throw it away. No, bro. You went into the game with a game plan. You did that. How did you all execute the game plan? All right. You ain't gotta go into super detail, but you gotta give people something more than I don't know. Like, bro, what's going on?
Closing questions now for Coach and his student athletes. Let's go on the left side. One note before you ask. Missouri student athletes are about to appear in Green Room A across the hall. If you have an interest in Missouri players, they will be coming shortly. Okay, question here on the left.
Ryan, why did you make the switch on the offensive line to start Matt at center and play Enoch at right guard?
I don't want to get too much into it, but Carson, was having a tough time the last couple of weeks in practice, and we just felt like at the right time, all right, this was the right thing to do at the time. Was having a few issues there, and so it's not that Carson will never play here again, but based on the last couple weeks of play, the decision was made that Matt gave us the best chance at center.
See, y'all need to fire Ryan Day. I don't care. I done said it about 2-3 times this video, but y'all need to fire this dude. They specifically asked Ryan Day. They said, "Hey, why did you decide to make this decision on this player at this position?" And what he said, we. And then he said a decision was made that we would go here, there, whatever. So he ain't even making decisions for his own team. He not even making decisions for his own team. Like, come on, bro. Like, are you just a face? Are you just that figurehead head coach? I don't follow Ohio State like that. But these answers are really starting to irritate me, man. They really starting to irritate me because, like, are you even aware what's going on in your program? Like, dude, what you doing, bro? Like, you just lost the bowl game badly because your offense didn't produce, and you haven't given a great answer yet. Like, come on, bro. Like, you playing with me. Stop playing with me, bro.
Yes, he was, yep. Well, we felt like, Lincoln had been taking all the backup reps and, moving forward in the future, felt like this was the best thing. And Lincoln also gave us a chance a little bit with some of the zone read stuff, where that's not really Tristan's game. And the game plan had more of that stuff in it, even more than you saw because it was more of that's what Devin can do. And we felt like Lincoln could at least, do those type of things as opposed to Tristan. That's not really his style of game. So we felt like the right thing to do was to have Lincoln in there.
Front row on the left.
Coach, your roster was affected dramatically by guys leaving, opting out, whatever. I need you to look in the crystal ball. Do you anticipate in the next couple of years we'll see things put in place to try to ensure that rosters in the regular season look similar for the postseason, even if they're not playing in games that are affiliated with the playoff bracket?
Yeah.
Are we going to get another I don't know answer from Ryan Day? Let's find out.
I hope so. I hope there's something because, this you have key pieces missing, and it's just not the same team that you played with a month ago. But not that that's an excuse. It's just the way it is, and we got to go win the game. But yeah, I feel like absolutely, you know, that, and I think maybe with the playoff that'll change things as well.
Now, I will say this. I will agree, because I said this earlier in the video, that yes, I think there should be certain parameters around the transfer portal, especially postseason, with bowl games and all this stuff. I think they shouldn't open the transfer portal up until after the national championship has been, or the national champion has been crowned. And then after that, hey man, take off. Because you got players leaving for the portal, players leaving because they got draft value, they don't want to get hurt, even though they ain't got hurt all season, whatever. You got players leaving for a multitude of reasons. You got coaches pushing players out for a multitude of reasons. So I agree with him on that. But at the same time, Ryan Day, relationships do freaking matter. And if you would have held true to your relationships and you know, committed to your quarterback that has been in the fire with you all season, that helped y'all get to this 12-1, 11-1 record, you wouldn't be sitting in this situation talking about my quarterback. You wouldn't have been sitting in this situation. You wouldn't have been sitting here. You know, I ain't saying you had to just commit to. I mean, I would have just committed to Kyle McCord. You know, he CJ Stroud? No, but I mean, he's one game away. He was you know, Ohio State wasn't that much worse with Kyle McCord than CJ Stroud. So I would just held on to him. Because, you know, I know, like I say, Ohio State, y'all will be fine. Aaron Nolan's going to be a really good, accurate, precise quarterback for you guys. Lefty out of Georgia. You know, bro, you could have did so much more. You could have did a lot more. You could have kept Kyle McCord, man. You could have kept him. You could have gave him that security.
Okay, we have 2 questions to go. Take one here in the back, and then we will come up to the front.
Ryan, when you look at your offensive staff and the way that you guys were constructed this year, I know that the offense, I would assume with you thinking this, didn't get the output that you guys wanted this year. Yeah. How do you evaluate your offensive staff moving forward? And do you think that there's reason to look at it and potentially make changes?
Yeah, we're going to look at everything. Yeah. You know, ultimately, like you said, you know, game. I mean, this is an example of a game like. Nobody cares that you have a freshman quarterback in there. You know, you got to go win the game, and it didn't happen. So, like I said before, everything's going to get looked at. And if it's what helps Ohio State go reach our goals and win these games, then we'll make those changes. So, got to really evaluate it the right way and make sure I'm doing it the right way, and do what's appropriate, what's best for the program.
Once again, another I don't know statement from Ryan Day.
Hey, no, we're going to have to come up front. This will be the last question right now. Microphone's up here, okay? Yeah. Front row.
One for Jack and for Lincoln. Jack, is it kind of true that you just kind of wore down as the game went on? And how will this affect not just your decision, you think, but the other people in your situation in terms of coming back? And for Lincoln, how much do you think this experience, as tough as it was, will help you down the road, if that's the way you feel?
Lincoln, why don't you start with that?
I'd say I think it was an awesome experience. I mean, just going out there, just playing in the Cotton Bowl was crazy fun. I think being out there was hard at first, but I think just the experience of playing a lot, and just being out there, throwing, running a little bit. I mean, it just helps me build like my like my platform for the next 4 or 5 years. So, yeah.
Once again, I would not have brought Lincoln out here, man. It's not fair to him. He's a freshman. I don't know if he's a true freshman, red shirt or whatever, but he should not have been brought to this stage, man. There's a lot of veteran players you could have brought to this stage to take on this gunfire. I would not have brought my freshman quarterback who got thrown into the game late to the post game press conference. Like, I would not have done that, man. I just wouldn't have did it. I would have, unless it's a rule that say you got to bring your quarterback to these press conferences. I would have brought somebody else, an offensive lineman. I would have brought somebody else. That's not fair to this young man.
Okay, Jack.
You know, I think a lot of us all are on the same page about, you know, we don't want to end our Ohio State careers like this. 2 tough losses. You know, we all love it here. We love Coach Day. We love the staff. And, you know, sometimes, you know, unfortunate things happen and you don't get the outcome you want. And I think that's going to play a big decision and her a big factor in our decisions.
Okay, guys, thank you so much for coming.
All right, so that is the Cotton Bowl post-game press conference from the Ohio State Ryan Day side. Gotta be honest, man, I'm very disappointed in a lot of the responses that Ryan Day gave throughout this entire video. Didn't really take any ownership of anything. He just kind of deflected and, you know, blamed the offensive line, or, you know, I didn't have my quarterback, even though you let your quarterback leave for the portal because you couldn't secure that relationship. You didn't, certain things coaching wise, you all just did not take ownership of. Yeah, man, I don't know. I don't know, man. Maybe, hey, man, y'all let me know what y'all think in the comments below about all this stuff. Maybe I missed. Tell me something I missed. Like, y'all know me, man. I'm hopping in the comment section with y'all, and we're gonna talk sports. Whether you agree with me, disagree with me, that's cool. I ain't really tripping that. I just want to have a conversation. So let me know what y'all think.